again, and welcome to Wing Chun Tips. Sorry it's been a delay in filming these videos. It was really cold here in the winter, so now we finally got sunshine and beauty. So we're going to go right back into our training and analysis. Well, today I'd like to talk about the introduction to the Wing Chun wooden dummy. Right here. Sifu made this dummy, Sifu Chan. At his school every year he makes a few of them. And basically the dummy itself is made of 2x4 planks cut at angles, and then the arms and the foot are made of oak, so they're a little stronger so you don't break it. And then there's little pins in the back, so there's a little bit of play, but they still stay in there secure. And actually, while I mention it, Sifu School, Chan's Kung Fu School, he has a Wing Chun wooden dummy book that comes in spiral. My pages fell out, so I put it in a notebook. And it goes through the wooden dummy section by section, as well as applications for the actions in each section. So what I'd like to do with this wooden dummy series of videos is have an intro section, then we'll talk about each section separately. We'll do each section, then I'll show the analysis of it as maybe some tips and tricks and advice, and see what you think. In the back of his booklet too, see there's examples of the photos. There's terminology, and there also are blueprints for how to build your own wooden dummy if you don't have access to it. But this is on his website, chanskungfu.com, and on the site there's also clothing and posters and educational DVDs, and there's a good one about the Wing Chun wooden dummy too. So it's a great instructional resources there. All right, so the wooden dummy. We're talking about the wooden dummy, Makyanjong, Mukjong. What is that? Well, it's a training aid. So if you don't have a partner, it helps you drill Wing Chun concepts and principles. Now this wooden dummy, as you can see, I built this rack. I went to Lowe's or Menards and got some 2x4s and lag bolts and some cross beams. So a feature of the dummy is that you've got resistance, but you've also got flex. Because this flex is going to help you work on your inch punch force power. You know that part of Wing Chun where you see the fist bam, blowing people back? Well, you can basically incorporate inch punch power and rotation into all your strikes and actions. I mean, you can do it with a punch, you can do it with a palm, your two palms, you can pull, you can push, you can do it with your arm, you can do it with your foot, you can do it with your shoulder, try to do it with your butt too. Just anything, whatever. So you can develop that explosiveness of your skills. And what that's good for is, as I'm sure many of you are aware, you stay nice and relaxed, and you'll be able to move a lot faster. I like to think like Bruce Lee did, loose like Bruce, how rather than being tight and trying to forcefully do your strikes, you're a lot better if you're smooth and loose and relaxed, and then you can Right. So that explosiveness helps you put a lot more power into it, and you stay loose. You can accelerate much more. And then in a lot of our motions, you'll see a little bit of micro acceleration or spiraling. What that is, like a little bit of turning rotational force into your different strikes. Okay, so blah, 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 what the heck is with the wooden dummy? Okay, well, Ip Man developed building his dummy in a rack because in Hong Kong he was in an apartment and he couldn't put his dummy in the ground. A lot of dummies are in the ground. And so this way enabled him to have it indoors. And as you can see, there's different parts. And we've got two top arms. We've got a middle arm for low attacks. And you've got this leg made out of oak. And what we'll work on, the wooden dummy in general, like I said, it'll help us, one, work on the explosiveness. Some of these sections you'll see a lot of pushing. And pulling, pull, striking, redirecting force. It's also helping our rooting and our foundation. You don't want to have a weak foundation, so when you push on somebody, you strike, you're blown backwards. You want to have power and strength of rooting, so you can just blast right through whatever your target might be. So as we incorporate this dummy, first, we've got alignment, as well as that springing, so we've got alignment. As we work on the dummy form, you work on precision. Step one is precision, accuracy of motion. So in the right place, at the right time, slowly, quality first, and power and speed will be second. So proper alignment, where to step, not being jammed, not being too far, not like pushing our hands away and coming back to the dummy, but keeping in near contact with the dummy as much as we can. But after we've got the alignment perfected, then in time we work on speed and in power and explosiveness. When Sifu tests us on the dummy, he usually has us do a quality run first for precision and sticking and accuracy, and then a speed run to get the whole thing done in a minute, which is pretty tough. It's not always that perfect, but you do what you can to get as close as possible. And he said that helps develop in your mind not only the quality of movement, but also speed and on-the-fly action, so you can use it rather than just being like a robot, to be smooth and explosive and powerful. Let's see here. Mentioned that. Structure is always important as you work on the dummy and as you work on all of Wing Chun. As I already talked about, the goal is to have our body be in good posture, whichever way we are, and to attack in any direction that we're able to, right? And so like usually the central part of your body is gonna be reasonably straight. We don't wanna be too far leaned, we don't wanna be too far overcommitted, or even too far sideways. Like a mistake sometimes people make on the dummy or in turning punching is to do this. And to lean, we wanna keep good posture. Boom, boom, and let our feet just shift a little bit side to side. The dummy will work on that too. There's gonna be shifting, there's gonna be stepping. And some of the different concepts that we talked about in the Sulim Tao and the Chum Q form, you're going to use right here in the dummy. Now I got these two little pads from Everything Wing Chun. It's a fabric pad with padding. It helps for your hands. But you'll also notice as you work on the dummy, in time, once we get after the different steps of it, then you can get to a freestyle level where we still do all the parts, but you can just kind of flow and attack the dummy with whatever comes to mind, to just do it to help build your skills and reactivity. Now, when working on the dummy too, at first sometimes people may try to bang on the dummy. Bang, bang. That does strengthen up your arms, but that's not really helping the explosiveness you want. Eventually what we want is where you impact the dummy, but you have a little pop, like a little bit of pop in all your motions. Like a little bit of a pop. And in time, your arms will get stronger. Plus, working on the dummy is going to help you with two-directional force, pulling and pushing, shifting weight, look, sow, rolling hands, and explosiveness, alignment, power, all those things, because you don't want to be directed back from the dummy. And even we could work on some of the other thing about the force. When we work on the dummy, our force goes into the dummy, sometimes at angles. For instance, our force goes into the center, mun sao, force, in. Even tan sao, it's a little bit sideways, but the force is still in. We don't want to go way out like that. We want to work on force in because it's power and it will uproot the opponent. Gan saos, it looks like I'm going sideways. Yes, it's sideways some, but it's also diagonal in. Pop sao, so work on those different things. Bong sao, like we talked about bong sao, that force is going to go into the opponent. And with a little bit of turn to deflect. Bong sao, bong sao, bong sao. Pak sao, a little bit of diagonal in. Quan sao, in. Pak sao. You can pull. Just elbow. You can freestyle. So that's what we're going to work on, is work on the dummy. These different attributes, there's different kicks. We've got, we can stomp the knee, we can stomp the side of the knee, we can stomp that side of the knee. You can kick the body, you can kick down, or even that Jeet Kune Do, that Jeet Tech, to work on different kicks like that. And at the end of every section, you'll see practice sinking energy, like we talked about in some of the other videos. At the end of every section, we're going to sink down, sink like Sulim Tao, sink and push up, and your whole body get the feeling of sink down. You're light and relaxed. You sink a little bit and explode. So in time, this will help build explosiveness and power and smoothness in all your motions. So I think it's a decent intro to the wooden dummy, and I like to go over the sections 1 through 7. Sifu has us do 7 sections of the dummy, and maybe I should mention one other thing. According to legend, supposedly, the wooden dummy, when Ung Mui, the the woman monk left the Shaolin Temple, apparently there they had a hall of 108 dummies that they would use in different positions. So when the monks would walk down the hall, they'd have to like gansao this, do this, kick this. So they had to work their way through these dummies, perhaps as like skill practice or just maybe for some kind of final challenge. So the goal with this wooden dummy is to emulate all these different types of techniques, string them all together, and build those skills, but in one dummy. Yeah, and you can put it right here in your garage or your apartment or your wherever. So yeah, let's get to it. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, put them below and I'll see if I can answer them. Thank you.